I say we dance for another 30 seconds without music.
Okay, Elaine.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey, folks, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, and they call me Chris of the Northwest. And we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the world. So while you're saying good riddance to the outer space folk, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Were they still here?
You know, all the geocaching community came together, formed goodwill, helped them. And my question to you is, did they pick up even one piece of trash?
I know they came during Ceto season and everything, didn't they? All right. Well, I guess sayonara to the outer space folk. But tonight, we're not talking about them. We're talking about updating your geocaching profile page. Has editing that page perplexed you, dear geocacher? Listeners, give us your feedback. Tell us what you want to know about the profile edits, profile page, the geocaching profile. Anyway, stay tuned to find out all the details. But first, it's time to bring in our profiling primate. Some say his 2 cents are worth $32.50. And others say he can bench press his own weight in chocolate pudding. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
There you go. Actually, I don't profile.
But you know what I just said to you.
Yeah, I do. That was pretty funny.
That's why you're laughing. I got it.
Hey, before we get on with the show, this is it. A quick reminder that we have all you wonderful patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And a thanks to our corporate Denali level sponsors. Well, that would be Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca. Want to get anything you've seen on geocaching.com? Well, Landsharks is an official geocaching.com retailer and reseller. So either in store or online, go check it out, see what you can find. And our other corporate Denali level sponsor at the moment, well, that's Cachely, the premier geocaching app for iOS. Version 8 with Cachely Pro features offline maps of the entire world, so you can navigate while offline DeLorme and counties so that you can finish grids. Finally, please just finish this already. And coming soon. Sorry.
I'm working on it.
I know. Hey, this month we finally completed all of our Washington. Now found a cache in every state in Washington. County. Every county in Washington.
Mm-hmm. I found one in every state in Washington too.
Did you? Yeah. You guys confuse me with your borders. Anyways, So, and iOS, great tool for helping you do that. iOS, Cachely on iOS, great tool for helping you do that. And coming soon, this I still think is one of the coolest features: CarPlay support. Mm-hmm. So find Cachely in the iOS App Store or go to cachely.com. That's CACHLY.com. And folks, if you want to know more about their podcast, head on over and click that Patreon link, the cachingnw.com website.
I think I've found a cache in every Washington county that I've resided in.
Good job.
Even every county that I've been employed in, I think.
There you go.
That is something.
Hey, you make the stat oddly specific enough, I can make it fit.
That's right. Every state I've cached in, I found a cache there.
There you go.
There you go.
Exactly. Folks, it's time for the glow. And I can't tell you the number of people that ask me, what is a glow?
What is glow?
See, I can't tell you. That.
At least one.
Thank you, Brian. You're always so helpful. That is the geocaching log of the week. Now, whether you wrote it or whether you read it, we want to hear about it because great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com. You can call in. Yes, you. Call into 253-693-TFTC. I bet you could tell that to your fancy smartphone and they would dial that number for you.
That Chat GPT could do it for you.
Oh, Chat GPT could come up with some nice glow-worthy logs, couldn't they?
Yeah, I haven't tried that. It's an interesting idea.
That's a good idea.
I wonder if it knows about the glow. Of course it does. It knows everything.
Indeed.
So stop what you're doing right now. Go on over to your large language model of choice. There are several. And go ahead and make a glow-worthy log, will you? And then come back and call into 253-693-TFTC and read it to us.
Maybe you could have AI read it in the voice of James Earl Jones.
Ooh.
Who recently passed.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, this week's glow is called TikTok Bus Stop. That's GL. The log is GL1 Alpha Whiskey Zulu 0 Golf Hotel, and it was found by Limax. So the log says that was quite the adventure. Turns out I looked at it quite a few times before spotting it. Looking elsewhere finally clued me in. Upon releasing the mechanism, I did not find the container. It wasn't until I was walking away that I spotted it. I then had the trouble of trying to retrieve it. Thankfully, a taut tool of the trade I had helped. After signing the log, I then had a lot of difficulty putting it back. I was able to finally get the right angle to do that. This will be one I won't soon forget. Left a path tag.
Nice.
So,
very
if
thoughtful.
you're out there, go. Maybe there's a path tag just waiting for you there.
Yep. We don't have the GC code, but it's TikTok Bus Stop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I thought I put in the GC code. I put in the log number.
It's a log
number.
code. Yeah, that's all right.
Log code. So in this web page, it's like a bronze statue of an alligator with two children riding upon it.
That's cool.
Which I think I think that's bad, because you don't want to tell children they can do that.
Well, I don't see the problem here.
Oh, well, in that case,
It's called population.
there you go. It's GC 138 Foxtrot Charlie.
Foxtrot Charlie. Yes. White Coaster says, lunch to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
So there you go. Yeah. And that made me wonder. I was like, where's the mech of this statue? We mentioned ChatGPT at the start of the show.
Did we?
Yes, we did. And I just mentioned it again, and they're still not sponsoring us yet. So I thought they would see that coming, but it hasn't happened yet.
It takes a while for it to crawl the content. And then,
Okay.
it'll do it.
CRS98 says Corvette Kent writes all his logs using ChatGPT. It makes up some interesting stuff.
I bet.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Someone else. It's Cliff is. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Komakino says the local cacher uses that to write the longest find logs I've ever read. LOL. CRS98 and I were thinking of the same person.
There you go. There you go. And CRS98 had also followed up saying that they probably aren't very useful for getting hints for future cachers to go through ChatGPT based logs.
Probably not.
And I would agree. Chat. I think just on a tangent, how I think generative AI for text is best is as an ideation.
Yes.
It can help you get started,
Mhm.
but don't remove the human element from your creation.
There is another large language model that's designed to kind of humanize the text of AIs. So it's an AI to change the writing style of AIs to make it more human-like.
Okay, but it won't have your individual voice, and I think that's where Quest shares a thought I had.
Exactly.
Which I appreciate her voicing. Just TikTok is the name of the crocodile from Peter Pan. So perhaps
Is that the name of the crocodile, or was it just because it had swallowed a clock?
Yeah, it was always referred to as TikTok. I thought it was the name of the crocodile. But
Okay.
I guess we'll find out.
Bryling has. I wonder if anyone's fed existing geocache logs into a large language model.
I'm sure it has found them.
Oh,
And yes, and it came out with the best log entry, TTF.
TFTC.
No, it shortened it. That was too much. Just
Oh.
TTF.
TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Oh my gosh. There you go.
Okay. Where were we? Oh, hey, folks, if you want to join in tonight, and you don't even have to be a large language model, I'm just throwing that out there. You can use the hashtag profile to ask any question you want to tonight, because we are talking about updating your geocaching profile. And of course, you can use hashtag FATAS if you want to toss something in a bit later down the road of the show. We're going to talk in the after show. That's why it's a bit longer.
Chris, I'd appreciate you referring to me as a plus size language model.
Okay. Sorry. Plus size language model. Oh boy. Hey, we've got some news.
Okay. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got to. This is a great news story. I love this stuff. I have been frustrated so many times in my own attempts to chase this that I'm like,
Can't
I've
tell
given up.
you the number of times, right? Yep.
But hey, Northern Lights may once again appear in British Columbia and Washington tonight as solar storms hit the Earth's atmosphere and caused Jim to be called out for on-call. Solar storms could bring faint but visible auroras to parts of the Northern Hemisphere starting late Thursday and continuing into early Friday morning. So, if you're listening to the podcast, just look out your window and enjoy the Northern Lights. Anyhow, the storms are expected to produce colorful displays in the skies over Canada and northern U.S. states such as Alaska, Washington, Montana, North Dakota, and Minnesota. However, all the stars have to align, as they say, for the auroras to be visible that far south, as in not overcast.
Doesn't only one star have to align?
Yeah, well, it was in
Star?
quotes, so I think they're using they're not being literal.
Gotcha.
Yes, if all the stars align, Brian says, if all the stars align, that would indicate some catastrophe or alien intelligence. Good point, Brian. Thank
I
you.
don't think we've ever had all the stars align.
No, that would be a very strange thing to see on one big row. Anyways, for those hoping to see the spectacle, the best chance comes after dark in areas away from bright city lights. If you haven't figured that out yet, news flash.
No
Light
flash.
pollution will screw up your
Sky
northern.
flash.
Taking a photo with a smartphone will help you see the auroras better, even if they aren't readily available to the naked eye. Yeah, my sister-in-law has an example of that from one of the recent times they were more visible from Vancouver Island. She has beautiful photos, and she says when we were looking, just like that gray haze, but the smartphone camera really enhances the colors, which is cool.
I took pictures of the gray haze, hoping I would see something. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I was taking pictures of the gray haze in the last few days out over Vancouver during the day, and it just looks like smog.
Funny thing.
Talk about the last time, I think it was here in May.
Mhm.
I didn't think I'd ever see him here down in Washington State, but in May we did. This is what I took with my smartphone.
Oh,
so-
wow.
Oh, nice.
Very
There you go.
nice.
Did you see them with the naked eye?
Yes, but nowhere near that vivid.
Mhm.
It
Right.
was that faint haze that
Okay. Was the
Glenn, like
rest
you
of you
mentioned.
naked? I don't want any pictures.
I was naked under my clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. And White Coaster says, of course, Northern Lights. That must mean the rain's coming.
That's right.
Indeed.
And did you see any aurora australis in the southern hemisphere when you were down there?
No, we did not when
Okay.
we were down there. I was kind of hoping that we might get that opportunity, but did not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I had gone out with my smartphone and just taken night sky pictures, maybe I would have picked up something. Didn't think about it. There you go.
All right.
All right. Well, these storms are unlikely to cause major disruptions to the power grid, causing Wits End to work late into the evening. But they could briefly interfere with precision GPS equipment,
Oh, why do you
Which is-
mention that?
often used in industries like farming, as
True.
we know so well.
It's always funny when, as geocachers, we read these articles and we're like, but what about us? And like, oh yeah, we're still like 0.01% of the GPS usage.
And we probably use the satellites as far as, data quantity back and forth more than anyone else, right? Well, just
I don't
forth,
know.
not back,
don't
because
know.
it doesn't work that way.
Precision GPS equipment. So iPhone users are safe.
Oh,
Thanks,
White
White Coaster.
Coaster is on fire tonight.
Yikes. All right. Hey, the sun is currently at its peak 11-year magnetic cycle, which means solar storms and aurora displays are more frequent, if you haven't noticed.
It's been a busy year for that, but yeah, Chris, as you said, some of us have tried earlier in the year chasing and just forget it. Like,
Yeah.
I think I stayed up till 2 a.m, from Friday night to Saturday. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to see this. Nope. It was a really pleasant walk in the evening down in our neighborhood, right? Nobody was moving about.
yeah, but in your neighborhood, you'd be dealing with quite a bit of light pollution.
There's still too much light
Yeah.
pollution. Yeah,
you
we don't
to
need
get out
no
in the
light
boonies.
pollution.
You need to get out in farmland.
I
Or,
really considered going for a
or
drive.
5 blocks from where Jim lives.
Yeah. Okay. What is this?
That is the 30-minute aurora forecast.
Well, I
Yeah.
see that.
That's actually a really a really good app there.
That's the Southwest Podcast National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. I'm sure that's what SWPC is.
Right.
That's what I
Products
would've said.
/ Aurora 30-minute forecast. I'm going to have to look into that and see if that helps me at all. But
It's a pretty good one. But again, it always comes down to, well, great, that says what I should be able to see.
Yeah.
And then I go out and nope.
and go out and look at the gray. No, I don't see any color. Oh, let me take my phone out. No,
Nope.
nothing.
Still not.
Even if I don't see it through the range or, through on the display, I'm still taking the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll send you some of those shots of gray. It's a really nice shade of gray.
How many shades?
I don't know. Maybe at least 30, 40.
Okay.
Any
other
more,
news?
we have to pay rights. So
Yeah, that's right. Any
Hey,
other news?
we do have a little bit more news. The
Okay.
WSGA has a booth, and that's it. Let's go on.
Moving on.
They have a booth at Issaquah Hatchery Salmon on Sunset, Saturday, September 14th. I love that alliteration. Salmon on Sunset, Saturday. I can't even do it. September 14th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They could use some help staffing the table. And it is staffing, not stuffing the table. 3 to 4 people would be ideal, hoping that some of you good Puget Sound chapter folks or others that read this can work it into your schedule. Can you help out so that one or two people are not required to do it all day long? If you have some time on Saturday, you can help us out. Please contact Antoine Pinn at president@wsgaonline.org. That's president@wsgaonline.org. So he can answer any questions for you. The location is the Issaquah Salmon Hatchery. That's 125 Sunset Way, Issaquah, Washington. Please come out and help us with a great outreach opportunity for geocaching and the WSGA.
That hatchery, that's like right downtown Issaquah, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's neat.
And
Very
he
cool.
points out it's not an event, it's an outreach for geocaching. So
That's right. It's not an official geocaching event.
Okay, good point. But an outreach for geocaching, that's fantastic. Good
Yep.
stuff. Congrats, or thank you, WSGA members, for volunteering to represent the game there.
And one other point, that Mrs. Wino is the president now.
Hmm.
That must just be in the household as well.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's always been the case in the household.
There you go.
She says, look at me. I'm the president now.
Oh dear. Memes that
Oh.
never get old.
No. So, I was thinking,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen often. I just wanted to point that out
Did it hurt?
a little bit, a little
Okay.
bit, right on this part of my head there.
Hmm.
As I was looking through the stats page on geocaching.com, my personal profile, I realized, you know what? Not a lot of people know how to edit this. So I thought we should go through just a brief tutorial. It's not going to be long, and help you understand some of the things that you can do to make your stats page or your profile page stand out a little more than the average, if
Cool.
you want to, because, geocachers, I don't care what you say. It is all about the numbers, and you guys love numbers.
It's all about the stats.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And you know what, Chris? It's good you bring that up, because if people submit a glow and get a glow badge, then this episode will help them understand how to add that glow badge to their profile.
There you go.
Exactly. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about HTML code. Don't worry yourself. We've got different ways to work around this.
Okay,
So-
it sounds kind of scary. I'm a
I
little
know it
intimidated.
does. And it's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah.
That's the kind of scary this is.
All right. Well, I guess what we want to help people understand, what we want to know is where do you even start? And Chris, you suggest in our notes here that if one goes to the user privacy page,
Well, yes, if you go to your dashboard in a browser on a computer, you could do it on your phone as well, but not an app, right? So go to
okay.
so log into geocaching.com, right?
So you can do it on your phone, but you can't do it through an app on your phone. You have
Right.
to use your phone browser and open up the geocaching.com site. Got it.
There you go.
I'm
So
following.
you click on dashboard, right? Then you have to click that green view profile button on the left. And then you have to jump more towards the right of the page and click edit next to the pencil.
It's
I know.
jump to the left.
And back to the right. Everybody now.
Put your
Edit.
hands on your hips.
And pull your knees in tight.
Oh, this drives me insane. Yeah.
Well, let's update our profile page.
Again.
Well, and as we're going about this, I did want to bring up the privacy part because not everybody wants to share everything. And geocaching.com has made it very nice and granular that you can share certain parts of that page with certain groups of people.
Right. Okay. And then, so I think this is what you're getting at here earlier with the user privacy. So you have some options here that can either be public, so all the internet, friends. So that would just be people you have friended
Within geocaching.
within geocaching.com. So
Right.
yeah.
Now, apps can do that. I know Cachely can do that. You can look at your friends and add and remove friends via Cachely. I don't know if you can do that through all the apps.
We have actually GS sometimes too is asking if we would be willing to share a screen as we go through this. Is that,
Why? That's brilliant.
so
Let
that's
me.
okay. So Chris is going to look at doing that. So, and again, so those three options, Chris will bring it up shortly. But those three.
I've got mine if you want it there.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
There you go. There's my dashboard. Here's view profile, right?
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
And there's edit profile.
Oh, I didn't. Funny, I didn't see the big button towards the bottom.
Oh, you saw this
right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, probably if you had some content shared here, this might
probably wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But hey, this is good because this is illustrating for those who maybe haven't gone down this road yet. So thanks.
So the pencil is the same both.
So look for the pencil. But yeah, so when you
edit the profile there for us, Wits End.
Okay. Look at that.
If you expand that page a little bit to the side, you'll see a menu on the left side.
Well, I suppose I could probably figure out how to do that here. Let's see if I can.
There you go.
Look what you did.
And you see user privacy. Oh, 2/3 of the way down.
There you go.
Excellent.
Apparently, I'm a very open sharing person.
Yeah. Well, but what's good to know, and this is actually, so it's really good that you're bringing this up. So first of all, GS. And so what's good to understand here is if you go in and start to edit it, I think Chris's point being the first place you want to go is just dig down into here and think about who do I want to share. Like if you're okay with sharing your and it's not like your personal identifiable information, it's geocaching stuff. But if you don't want to share those, if you just want to keep it either just to your geocaching friends or to no one but yourself, think about that and go and make sure you do set these things appropriately for what your comfort level looks like.
I find it interesting. Okay. Last visited date, the last date you were on the geocaching.com page.
That, that's an important one to think about because I mean, hashtag stocky, right? Like,
right. Exactly. It also looks at it and go, oh, okay. So somebody's been on there lately. They're still active. I haven't seen them in a while. I wonder if they're still active.
I have done that with it. It's like, this cache has not been updated for a while. And go, oh, look, they haven't logged in for 2 years.
Yeah, it's handy at times if you, as a geocacher, want to understand, like, has this CO been on? Like, I'm going to send them a message about their cache, but is there any point in me doing it? So there's a degree where that can be handy information to share if you are comfortable sharing it. But some people aren't. Some people want a little more privacy. I don't want somebody to know. Perhaps somebody feels that I don't want somebody to know that I have been, online or out doing this or doing that. And fair enough. If you're very concerned about your privacy, maybe you want to hide all of this because you don't want people knowing. In a way, I'm looking at a worst case scenario here, but in a way, people can see where you have been really.
Exactly.
Because they can see the geocaches you found.
Yeah. If you're logging live, hey, I just found this. I logged it right now. Yeah, people can kind of tell where you are, right? If they're being stalky.
Yeah. So again, situations vary, but I think it's just good to be transparent about what it is and what it means. I'm not trying to create panic.
No,
but I think it's just good for people to understand.
Yeah. Apparently, I can only do drafts now in GC Droid in real time anyway. Just found that out. So yeah.
Wet Coaster says last visit is the website, not the app on your phone.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I will take him at his word until we hear otherwise.
Yeah.
There you go.
So profile, location, about, geocache finds, trackables, souvenirs, gallery,
Yep.
and stats. So you can also block friend requests and show my activity on my friend's dashboard.
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
So if you're doing a I want to say a dashboard challenge, no, a leaderboard challenge.
Yeah.
If you want to be seen. So and
Yeah. So it's
Ge-
good though. I think this is really responsible of HQ to
Mhm.
make all of this available because you can tune it to complete discretion. Nobody sees anything or wide open or somewhere in between because there's different, as you said, Chris, there's different categories of what data to share. So that's good. Read
Good
through
to
it.
know.
For our listeners, if this is new to you, or maybe you've had your profile public since you started playing and just didn't realize you could get in here and tune the privacy.
Yeah.
Right. GSM times 2 says that's correct. Many new cachers have never visited the site because they use the apps only.
Fair enough.
And I believe that to be true.
Yep.
So there's all those things in there, right? You can go through and work on your privacy. Now you can also go to the edit there and edit your bio, your information, what have you.
Yeah. So maybe as we get into the how-to a little bit more, Chris, but what are some use cases that you can think of where people might want to edit their bio?
Well, I want to throw out Dave here. He says, I'm feeling dumb. What is a glow badge?
Not dumb at all.
No,
Good
not at
question.
all. That's a very good question. And that's kind of what we're talking about a little bit tonight. So glow is what we refer to as the geocaching log of the week. If we use your entry for the geocaching log of the week, I will send you, as Vanna is showing right up here, I will send you a glow badge. What that is that's a little bit of HTML code. I go through, I don't know, 4 or 5 steps here. Do this, do this, do this. Insert this code here, and on your profile page, you'll get a glow badge. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Oh, look it. CRS98 already said that. If you contribute a glow that's read on the show, you get an HTML badge to add to your profile page.
Yeah, there you go. So it's maybe also just to be clear, it's not a digital souvenir.
No.
Like you can earn from geocaching.com for doing geo tours or their special promotions. It's something unique we make available as the podcast to those who contribute the glows. So thank you, Chris. And thanks for the question, Dave. Great question.
Absolutely.
I haven't updated my page in a while. I'm not showing mine here. Sorry. I was like, what is going on? So
everything's deleted.
How about that?
it's all gone. So what started this off was haunted hides. I don't remember what year. Was that like 2010, 2012, somewhere in there?
That was ages ago.
Yeah. Geocaching.com issued that one. If you found one on, I think it was Halloween or special, time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I think it was before souvenirs.
It was because you had to add the HTML to your page. Yeah.
So, and then, we came out with the glow badge, and then we started changing it year by year just because we thought, you know what, if you've got it once and you submit another great glow, you should get another glow badge. But what does it matter if it looks the same? So then we started doing colors. And I guess I didn't give myself 23 and 24 yet.
Special thanks to Wits End, who does all of our work for creating those cool badges.
In the last couple of years, we tried to pick the color of the year.
Yeah.
Did you know there's an official color of the year? Yeah, there is. As we found out, there's several.
Yeah.
And they're not always great.
That's something we don't like. Yeah.
Yeah. This year's color, I wasn't, really fond of, but I put the colors out to the patrons and let them choose.
Yeah. Another perk of being a patron of the podcast is you get to participate in choosing the color of the glow badge.
And Dave, you're very welcome. Okay. So there are ways that, the geocaching profile, let's see, do we still have Wits Ends available to share? Would you be willing to share your stats?
Sure. Let me go down there and find it. Oh, there's the home location.
Yeah. And that you may not want to share.
Well, by default, that does not share. Like you set that yourself.
Yeah, right.
And it does not. There's a couple of things that you can't even set them to share. They're just blocked from anybody else to view, which I think is great privacy. Yeah. One is your home location. Although
Which-
there's wits
which-
ends.
which is not, actually, I do not live in Columbia Park, so
Oh, I thought you were in a tent under one of the trees in
I
Columbia.
sent it down there in the park just for the
Yeah.
purposes of the podcast.
Yeah, smart. But that data is not publicly available at all. You can't make it publicly available. It isn't publicly. That's only for you and for your stats. Two other things that are not publicly available is the closest cache to you, and I think the furthest cache from you. I think those two.
Closest find and farthest find.
Closest find and farthest find. Yeah, because people could use that information to kind of triangulate,
Possibly
where you-
triangulate in some way.
Yeah. So good for HQ that they just don't make that information available for anybody else for you. So I think that's responsible.
You do want to go in and set a home location, because if you have any alert emails set up like I do, new cache is published near you. Well, when I moved 200 miles away, that wasn't so useful anymore. So I had to update my location.
And that wasn't something you thought of right away. You got
Not right away.
Oh, it's going to take me 4 hours to get there.
I'm still finding other things like that. You go to the grocery store or some store and want a phone number. Oh yeah, that phone number. No, that's not good anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. Another thing that setting your home location is really useful for those who enjoy doing challenge caches. Some of the blackout challenges and things like that require knowing where your centroid, where your home location is to do the challenge from.
So you were asking about statistics
Yes.
up under profile here.
There you go.
Like here.
Yes, exactly. Like those stats.
There you go.
So did you know that geocaching.com bought this feature a few years ago?
I didn't know that.
I did hear that. Yeah.
They bought it from mygeocachingprofile.com.
Huh.
Now, surprisingly enough, mygeocachingprofile.com is still updated and active. And it has a few more details than what geocaching.com used. So you can go to, shall I say it again? mygeocachingprofile.com.
The other place, Chris, you can get some really good personal caching stats is project-gc.com.
Yes, but we're not there in the show notes yet.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Please continue.
So just because, mygeocachingprofile.com, there I go, I said it again, I think we should be getting some kickback from this, is actually pretty easy to use. You go create an account, you upload your MyFinds pocket query. Now, that does limit people because the MyFinds pocket query is a premium feature of being a geocaching premium member. It does some magic with that, right? Does some analytics and does some other things. You can customize your profile, include different portions, history, configuring preferred settings, adding or removing profile sections. We can talk about those in a bit. And then when you go to preview your profile page, let's see. Do I have mine up here? I thought
you stopped sharing.
I know.
It's so tricky. We've got multiple monitors, but we're using them all to do the podcast.
I know. You can preview it and it gives you all the HTML code of your profile that you would ever need. So you could just take and copy that into your about link and it will look something like this. Now, this is old. I haven't updated my finds pocket query to this for quite some time, but you get the idea. You get a chronology, you get your longest streak, your longest slump. This was 2019 when I last updated it here. So, it'll give you your finds by the day of the year, finds by day of the week, cache. Now, if you look at this, next to your geocaching.com stats, why some of this looks very similar. This is where they got it from.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's neat to learn.
Oh, you know what?
Fun fact of the podcast.
I'm sitting here looking at it, realizing I haven't shared that page. Sorry, folks.
That's all right.
So, so there are things that can be done on mygeocachingprofile.com. There it is again. Geocaching.com hasn't taken and incorporated. So there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Land Monkey.
Yes.
What did you want to talk about?
Nothing. I'm good.
Well, folks, thanks for tuning in.
No, well, yeah. So Project GC, which I I have paid for years for the annual membership for it. Not just because of the stats. Slow down, monkey. Yeah. um, uh, Not just because of the stats, but it also has some fantastic tools on it for challenge caching, etc. But that's not what we're here to do. But
projectgc.com, go explore it. You can sign up for free.
Yeah.
It's got an incredible amount of detail. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
no, please go ahead.
That was it. That's all I
Oh,
got.
okay.
Incredible
Well,
amount of detail. Incredible cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
yeah. So yeah, project-gc .com is the website. And what's really cool is that it also has, like if you really start getting into it, it also has plugins for your browsers
Mhm.
with project-gc. So and again, I'm kind of going off the rails a little bit, but that's what I like to do. Where what it'll do is like you open up cache pages, but it'll actually throw extra data into there if you've got the plugins enabled and pay for the membership. So that's pretty cool stuff. But speaking of your stats, project-gc, similar to what Chris was just sharing, has all of those, all that kind of data, and a lot of, and it also has a function in projectgc.com if you're a paid member where you can embed that detailed data from their site about your caching history and embed it onto the geocaching profile as well. And I think maybe it's kind of like another fun fact of the podcast is at the heart of this, updating your profile. You have this ability that when you go into your geocaching profile and you want to update it, you can free text, you can write stories, tell people a little bit about yourself, embed photos. It's like a WYSIWYG, but it also from a text perspective, but it also allows you to embed HTML code in there quite easily. So really what that means for the non-technical listeners is any content that you could see on a web page, you can embed into your geocaching.com profile. Okay. I'm good now. Thank you, Chris.
Keep going. I think I have to sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll tell you
I have not
something I
even
like.
been looking at the show notes, so I don't know if
I tell you something I like about Project GC. I've
What's that?
used it is to compare finds. Chris
Oh,
and I
to
want to go out
compare?
geocaching somewhere, and we want to look for caches that neither of us have found. And you can put in the location, put in the two usernames, and it'll give you a list of that. So that's kind of nice too.
There you go. Very cool. Yeah, and all kinds of advice here in the chat about annual memberships for Project G. Pro tips on how to make your dollar go further, which is awesome. Another thing and so I scrolled down the notes for Chris to remind
I
me.
didn't have to sneeze after all.
Okay. But another really cool thing that Project GC creates for you is the badge gen. And so now
Oh boy.
and this is a deep dive on its own. So we'll just skim the surface of. But again, this is that whole idea of creating souvenirs to mark your achievements in the game. Project GC, they picked up the work that Badge Gen used to be a separate site. Project GC has embedded that now within their site, and you can again add that information into your profile if you'd like to show off the badges, the digital badges you've earned through all of your amazing geocaching adventures. Some cool
badges for like filling in grids and things. Is that?
Yeah, here I'll see if I can.
I mean, like
was-
like this empty grid and
I'll see if I can pull up my.
I was gonna say,
this
I
empty
can't-
grid. And
Yeah, that one. Well, then there's more than that. I have the Badge Gen page, right? The wiki on Badge Gen that will show you all of them.
yes.
Right. So existing badges, and then each badge has a quality, meaning it goes from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, ruby, sapphire, emerald, and diamond. Those last four, ruby, sapphire, emerald, and diamond, being gem badges. Gem badges are special because then you can do add-ons to gem badges
Yeah.
and
So
loops.
I can show my page if you want.
Oh,
Chris.
please. I was thinking I couldn't find it on.
Here's one thing with Project GC, it does take a moment to load it up. So there's two things to know. One is it does take a moment to load up because it's grabbing a butt ton of data and then representing it. So you just give it a moment or two and it'll be up. The other thing is that it's usually about 24 hours behind. So if you like you
Yes.
just achieved something amazing and you found that and you've logged that geocache, like, all right, let's go look at my badges. And you look, oh, I didn't get a badge for it. Give it 24 hours, your badge will be there. It's been ordered, it's on delivery. Share screen,
To get that much gold and diamond and
right?
all the it takes a minute.
Yeah. So there you go. So here's here's a sample. So cool stuff that you can see. And so this is Project GC. The badge gen page is one of the pages in sort of the default page you go to on Project GC, if you're a member, where it'll have all of your
That's right. That's
all
why
of
I
your
can't
data.
find
So you
it.
can find
It's
all of
under
your different
stats.
data. Sorry, Chris?
That's why I can't find it. It's under stats. It's a tab under stats. I was looking for
Yeah.
badge gen by itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, lots of jokes already about stinking badges. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's cool stuff. So Jim, you were saying like what they call the matrix cacher. So that's also known as the fizzy grid, etc. And all kinds, and what's kind of cool is that there's challenge caches out there, but sometimes it's like, well, I'd like to do this challenge, but I don't know where there's a challenge cache for me to monitor my progress on it. Well, most of the things that there are challenge caches for, there's also badges for. So you can kind of just look at your badge gen stats and then go, oh, okay, well, that's something I'd like to work on. And then see how you collect and earn the things. It also has what calls country badges, which is, I think this is really cool. So for every country you visit and you go geocaching in, you'll get a unique badge for it. And then what it also does, which is cool, is you see it might have kind of different colors depending on how many different counties or states or provinces or however that country is divided up, how many different parts of that country you found caches in, you'll get the different
Add-ons.
not the add-ons, but you'll get the different colors like
Colors,
gold,
yeah.
platinum, diamond, etc. And then you also can get the add-ons, right? So I've got for Antarctica, I've got the February 29th add-on.
Mhm.
There for Canada, I've got a bunch more of the add-ons. Curiously, I have one FTF I have more than one FTF in the US, but I have the FTF add-on.
How come I don't have that?
I don't
I
know.
have the 365 and the February 29th for the US. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it's a really cool way for you
Mhm.
to track your caching stats. And again, like I said, you can share it or not. It's up to you, however you want.
Yeah. So badge gen is just a portion of Project GC.
It is
And
now.
that's true. And I have to agree with CRS 98 says the nice thing about Project GC updates is the data updates automatically. So your profile page is constantly getting updated, where my geocachingprofile.com, that is a manual update. You have to go put my finds into it, process it, copy that HTML. So why it's there, and the geocaching.com stats page that updates automatically as well, right? Those are geocaching.com or Project GC are really the premier stats for your profile.
And I don't know if you brought this up earlier, but also Dave had said Project GC has the challenge checkers, which are awesome, and that all ties into like what we were right. Is all also that stuff. So thanks for bringing that up, Dave.
Project GC also has a really nice souvenirs page that breaks it out for you. You have your country souvenirs, you have your region or state souvenirs.
Yeah, that's true.
Then
And the
your
map.
unique events, and then other events. So rather than just being piled together or in the order you receive them, it's kind of nice to break them into groupings.
For sure. And another pro tip from CRS 98, because we were talking about FTFs just a moment ago. Again, if you're not familiar with the lingo, FTF, first to find. So if you were the first person to find a particular geocache, you can claim FTF. It is not a stat that is officially tracked by geocaching.com,
Right.
but it is tracked in tools like Project GC. But as CRS98 says, you need to tag your FTF logs with FTF in curly brackets, or else Project GC won't parse your logs. Well, it'll parse your logs, but it won't find that FTF text.
It won't do that FTF bit. And yes, I remember that there were back when I was doing this, there were a couple of different nomenclatures for your FTF depending on which site you were using, and I probably
Right.
didn't use the right one to continue on. So
Oh, and Brian Lang says another different method you could use if you want is add your FTF logs to a bookmark list and tell Project GC to look at that list. Uses that method. That's great. I didn't know you could do that. Thank you, Brian Lang.
that seems really easy to do. You don't have to go back and edit logs and hope, oh, did I do that one? Or
Yeah. All right.
interesting.
Well, we're okay. And GSM
Okay,
times
there
2
you go.
says you can also put other characters outside of the FTF. I think those are asterisks.
Asterisk. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
Octothorpe, FTF, Octothorpe. No, sorry. That's not Octothorpe. Those are
Asterisk.
asterisks.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna run the clock out here. Not a bad thing. But anything else for our profile we want to talk about, Chris?
Boy, we have so much more. Okay, so we're gonna scoot past the loops of badge gen. We're gonna scoot
Kinda
past the
showed that and
add-ons.
spoke to it
Yeah, we
briefly.
kind of figured that. And
Mhm.
Land Monkey, we're gonna land on one that I thought you would be the most interested in, and that's your Earth Cache achievements, right? So, much like badges, you can earn
Really?
Earth Cache badges. Yeah. And these aren't given to you automatically. What do you have to do?
Yeah. So first of all, it's a reminder that Earth Caching as a program is actually owned and run by the Geological Society of America, the GSA. It's on geocaching.com. That's where you find Earth caches, but really important to point out that important nuance. And one of the things that the GSA has done, which is really, really cool for those who enjoy Earth caching and would like to see some sort of gamification and status tracking of their progress in the world of Earth caching, is the Earth caching achievements. So both for visiting and developing Earth caching, there's different achievements. They have the Masters program. And there's the digital souvenirs again that you can earn as you go. They are, and there's a book coming soon on that topic. But the Earth Cache Masters can reward you both for visiting and developing Earth caches. There's 4 levels of awards that each have a digital badge you can earn that go along with it: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, with different requirements. That if you go to, do we have a website? We do. Chris, can you put the URL for that website? So if people want to learn more about this, go to the website. It's really well explained there. And now with the background from our podcast on, this whole discussion around adding things to your profile, you'll be able to see, this is something else I can work towards and add to my profile. But
Right.
as you achieve those the different things that you need to do, GSA is not grabbing data from geocaching.com. They're not parsing the data like Project GC does. So you have to go onto the forums and fill it out and say, here's the evidence that I have achieved this level. So it's a little bit of work you have to do, but you are rewarded with these awesome digital badges that not everybody gets. So very cool. I love the Earth Cache Masters program, and would encourage people, if they have any interest in Earth caches at all, to check it out.
Well, I would already qualify for silver, so I've got to do a little bit more to get my gold.
Awesome.
So
yeah, and so as I was, maybe just to speak through that, the different levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, they require visiting and logging a certain number of Earth caches in different geographies to start to progress your way up. They're not that hard. Bronze starts with visit and log 3 or more Earth caches in 2 or more states, provinces, or countries. So a little bit of work, a little bit of travel, but you can start to move on. Silver goes up to 6 or more in 3 states or provinces, but then you also have to develop 1 or more Earth caches to qualify. And then it just sort of progresses from there.
And to be the super platinum uranium, it's like developing 800
Iridium.
caches. Yeah. Iridium.
Yeah. Unobtainium.
Unobtainium. Thank you. I was trying to remember that one, Jim. Thank you. 20 or more Earth caches visited and logged, 5 or more different states or provinces or countries. and have developed 3 or more earth caches. So, that's a fair bit of work to get yourself up to
It
platinum.
is, but it's entirely doable.
It is.
So if you're looking for a new challenge and you thought, you know what, I want to earn these badges and I want to go develop some really cool earth caches in the process. That's the way to do it.
There you go.
So your profile is under your control. You can put whatever you want there. You can put just text to describe yourself. You can do poetry, or you can do fun stat pages or badges that some silly podcast will send you, HTML code for, or you can do that all. You don't have to limit yourself to one style.
Just don't do Vogon poetry, please.
Okay. But where else am I going to post it? Nobody else wants to read it.
There you go. Well, that's been great, Chris. And yeah, thank you for summarizing it all. Hopefully this has been a helpful episode for folks. They learned a little something new. Again, thanks GSM times 2 for the reminder that we should be showing as well as telling. So that's great. Hopefully that will help folks.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys. You, the listeners, you make this show worthwhile for us. We do this each and every week because we love you.
Yeah.
And folks, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Indeed. We want to take a moment to thank our corporate Denali level sponsors. That's Landsharks and Cachely. LANDSHARKZ.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store, and Cachely is the geocaching app for iOS. We want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters, not only Landsharks and Cachely, but also Cool Cow Cachers and Hawaiian Mile. If you want to know more about supporting this show, the Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website.
Like Antaeus did.
And Acrodoc.
And You Talks to Rocks.
And Dora Moore.
Kitty Quest.
JCar.
LG9000.
GeoNav Pro.
Logwork.
CRS 98. Very active in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah. Kid Vegas 19.
Peach of Washington.
Limax, who gave us the glow.
Thanks, Limax. And thanks to Skyhawker.
Boomer 365.
Gas Station Tuna.
GeoBirder.
Nervous Energy.
I got to come up with that. I can't figure out how to do nervous energies with a silly voice. Trexer.
Seebeck Tribe.
BC Rock Crawler.
Mountain Bike.
Wet Coaster.
Segehove.
MC3 Cats.
Just Carlo.
UDAC.
Greenards.
Butterfly Girl.
GSM times 2.
Subway Mark.
Team Noltex.
Genies.
Just finding our way.
Railroad.
Geocaches.
B Pendragon.
The Terrible Teas.
Whidbey Island Gal.
Flagman.
The Camp Clan.
And M-Nerve.
Oh, folks, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website. Now, if you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about. But if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a review. Because if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. Of course, you can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or write some Vogon poetry any time of the day or night. And don't forget, you can email us that Vogon poetry at feedback@cachingandw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2024. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The After Show. You are so educational tonight.
Yeah,
in case you didn't know, Vogon poetry is only the third worst poetry in the universe.
Well, and if you're going to write some Vogon poetry and send it into the show, it has to be geocaching related or at least this podcast related.
Oh, there you go. Brian Lang says, note to self, use Chat GPT to generate Vogon poetry and send it to feedback@cachingandw.com.
As long as it is pertinent to just look up Vogon poetry. There you go.
So we
Sorry, Dave.
We taught Dave what that was tonight. Our
It's just a
apologies.
learning experience for Dave, start to finish. Oh, too funny.
Why, look, Hawaiian Melee says, I was driving home from work, found a cache that hadn't been logged as a find in over a year.
Awesome.
Was surprised. Close to my work, too.
Awesome.
That means she must work far away from anything. I bet she can see the northern lights because she must
Could
be
be.
out in farmland.
Yeah, indeed. Do we have any other?
And Breiling found one in Edmonton a while back that hadn't been logged in 3 years.
Very good.
There
very good.
was a sweat
Thought I saw
coaster
Fatas
somewhere
earlier.
about an event this weekend.
Ah, there you
Like
go.
this one,
Go ahead,
Gagafap.
Chris.
Gagafap. Isn't that a Vogon word?
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be.
So you're starting some Vogon poetry here?
Yes. GHAGAFAP
21.
is this weekend in Rockwood, Ontario. That's GCNE21 if you need the GC code.
Nice.
Currently at 264 will attend logs. If you're in Southern Ontario, make a point of attending. Even more so, make a point of posting a will attend, because if they can get to 300 will attends, that becomes a mega event.
There you go. What does GAGAFAP stand for?
I liked Gagafap. Okay.
Golden Horseshoe Area Geocachers and Friends Annual Picnic. GAGAFAP's easier to say.
And more
What-
fun.
What is the Golden Horseshoe area?
Exactly.
Okay, never mind.
It's a saloon near the Mark Twain steamboat in Disneyland.
Indeed. We have a Fatas from our friend Keats94 is packing for 2 trips tonight and is thankful to have the podcast to keep him company, barring any pilot strike. Indeed. He's flying to Morocco on Wednesday and
Wow.
has an overnight hike this Saturday. Well, safe
Wow.
travels, Keats. We look forward to your stories from those travels.
Tell us who's sitting next to you when you get back and how interesting the conversation was.
Yes, please do.
Yes, there you go. Good stuff.
Was it seat 5A?
I can't remember the specifics, but it was definitely Keats.
Yes, it was so Keats. So the Golden Horseshoe is Niagara Falls, south side of Lake Ontario, to Hamilton, west side of Lake Ontario, to Toronto, the north side of Lake Ontario. I'm thinking it's around Lake Ontario.
I'm not sure what makes it gold, but
Well,
guess-
it's a horseshoe, all right. Happy hour, or no, golden hour. Happy hour, everything seems golden then. Wow.
Indeed.
Sorry, guys. That made no sense. But speaking of making no sense, folks, until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.